Welcome to the Air Moon Eris channel. We have 3 groups for you to choose from for tonight's reading. Tonight's reading will be all about what people love about you. So we have group 1, this smaller sort of orangey seashell. We have group 2 with this one. And we have group 3, is that one there. Okay, so you can take a moment to choose whichever pile you feel the most drawn to, and then use the timestamps in the description box to jump ahead. And we'll start with group 1. Hey, welcome group 1 to tonight's reading, which is what people love about you. So the first card that we actually had come out was the 8 of Wands, and I just think it's like the fact that you act like you take action quickly. It's like inspired action. I think that's what it is. You're like quick to take inspired action in a way where I feel like you use passion, like is like a driving force or something like that. You might be like a very creative person. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot here about inspiration and like leading the way, and you could end up being like a bit of a guiding light to people, like lighting up the pathway. And I feel like in a lot of senses, because you jump in first, you end up being a leader. Yeah, like people want to follow you, because I think that's meant to be something that like can make a good leader, is when, you know, oftentimes the leader's the person that just says like, I'll go first, and then that's how you like gain experience, right, is by doing the thing. But you just jump in. I feel like it's like, do you know what it is? It's like, you don't let fear get the better of you. I feel like you're really colourful, you're really bright personality. You might have an essence of like being a little bit fiery or something, but in like the best way. You know, in the way that like fire can make things fun, right? Okay, so I feel like there's like a lot of heart-centered stuff where it's like maybe you get inspired in the heart and the head. I'm not sure. I was just kind of seeing in the Light Seers deck, there's, or is it the Ace of Cups, like is the heart lit up, and then the Ace of Wands is like the mind's eye lit up, and it's kind of like that inspired passion in the heart and that inspired mind. And I've been seeing the two come out together lately side by side, and it's kind of like everything being in like perfect symbiosis of inspired to, you know, to take inspired action. So anyway, okay, anything else? Some of you may have like, some of you may be artistic or creative, or some of you may do some type of like artwork. Some of you may actually have tattoos or some sort of body artwork that, I don't know, it's like the patterns or the artwork itself is really beautiful. I feel like for some of you there may be like some sort of like tribal artwork, tattoos of some kind, and people can get really drawn into that. Obviously that's not for everybody. It's just like an extra layer of confirmation for those that, you know, do have that. And for others of you, it's just like this intertwined nature between like you as a person and everything that you do, and like the divine nature of life. And I don't know how else to really explain it. I feel like some of you might be like really spontaneous, really fun, like really lively. That's what it is. Like fire signs are lively. that's like, yeah, I don't know, like everyone can be lively, right? It's just, that's what I was trying to get out. Anyway, so I feel like some of you may have helped people in a time of need, in an hour of need. Some of you may take time to really comprehend things or to contemplate like where your life is, what direction it's heading in, you know, what means the most to you in life. Like if you had limited bandwidth or capacity in which way you could actually direct your life, then, you know, you actually know what you want and that's what you go after, or that's like what matters to you. You've got your priorities sorted, and I think that's really important. I think people appreciate that, especially because so many people are time poor these days, let alone resource poor. Anyway, you definitely take control of your life. You step up to the plate. You call the shots. You make the necessary moves that you need to. I feel like there's just no like mucking around here. There's like, if you see something, you're gonna call it out. And Jesus, there's always bugs with the candles. Let's just see if I can stop this. Oh my god. You're gone. No. Just like, why? I don't even know why it happens. I just like feel sorry for the butt. Oh my god. Anyway. Okay. So some of you could definitely like have a fire sign, or like be like a Mars rule zodiac of some kind. But I just feel like, yeah, you'll take control of your lives, you'll own it, you'll take responsibility, you'll take accountability, step up to the plate, do what you need to do. You just sort things out. That's what it is. You just sort out what needs to be sorted out, and then you move on. And you're actually good at it, and by just sorting things out sets you up for like success. And then I feel because you actually sort out the, you know, the basics first, or you like, you know, you set your priorities straight, and then because you've set your priorities straight, you know what you're working with or looking for and what to sort out, and you take that grounded action and do the work towards it. And because you're good at it and it works out, I feel like some of you may do things in like a methodical way. And so if you have like people that you work with or that you work for or that work for you, they might like your methodology or something like that. I feel like they appreciate the way that you do things. Some of you may be very structured, and I actually feel like it works to your favor and their favor. Anyway, like people know what to expect with you, right? You like straight down the line, okay? And then the next thing is that because, yeah, what I was trying to say is because you've sorted out then, you know, what you need to do, then you've like got all this free room and time to like really embrace who you are. And maybe for some of you, you're like a little bit eccentric or something like that. Maybe you're able to do both. Maybe you're like, you know, like work hard, play hard, but that's not really, I don't know how to explain what I'm trying to say. It's like maybe some of you can like hold like a duality of like being really serious and doing like the earthly mundane things that you need to do to keep the train running, but then maybe in that token you're also able to do the things that like make you happy and fill you up. But it's, I don't know how to explain it. It's also like an ethereal sense, so it's like kind of like a duality between, I feel like you're just a really integrated person and you do the hard things that need to be done so that you can do the things that you want to do that really like fill your soul. Yeah, things that mean a lot too. Anyway, I do feel like there's a level here of like being quite unique, and people really appreciate that for like about you. You're not scared to stand out apart from the crowd or like set yourself aside. I think if anything, that's probably one of those things that people appreciate about you, because it's like there's a genuine sense of who you are as a person, because you're not trying to hide away. Okay, so people are like, oh, this person is this person. Yeah, it's like being honest, right? And having respect. Anyway, I feel like you know when to walk away. I feel like you probably have like pretty good perception like you think about things just long enough that you need to like work out where you need to go from, and you try to move forward. I don't really feel like you get stuck there too long. Although now I'm coming through, we've got the Devil card, and I can't tell, like, look, the Devil can be Capricorn, so some of you may have like Capricorn placements. These bugs, I just got rid of them. Okay. So some of you may have Capricorn placements, but I don't know. I wonder if you like sort of tempt people sometimes, especially with like that fiery, fun, spontaneous nature or something like that. Or there's like, maybe people get like really addicted to your energy, or like a little bit obsessive or something like that. Because they get so drawn in, and because they're like so drawn into it, they kind of muse on you, but like maybe too much. And I feel like you guys might be like heartbreakers. I don't know. I'm not really sure how that's supposed to be something that people like love about you, but I feel like that maybe this part's the part where they're trying to suggest how much people love you. Like there's an, in essence, like a sense of like, yeah, you, when I say you're a heartbreaker, I'm not trying to say that you're like a bad person or you do anything wrong or anything like that. I'm not really sure what the situation is that they're trying to touch on, but it's basically like, I feel like you catch a lot of people's attention and you know what is for you and what isn't for you, and you're not like pretending. And I think in some ways, sometimes that can break people's heart because they feel like you're not engaging with them to the same extent that like maybe you do with other people or something bizarre. I'm not really sure, but like essentially what I feel like is that you're keeping enough of your own energy for you so that you can like, you know, not only do the things that you need to do and look after yourself and take care of yourself, you like feel, you know, it's just looking after your well-being, but then you like actually have enough to give other people. It's like you're not spreading yourself thin here. Like it's good. You're like taking responsibility for your energy and everything. And then I do feel like you have a tendency to like either expose the truth or like tear down like false foundations, or maybe there's a sense of like a liberator type energy or something like that, where you like free people from their trappings or something like that. And you, I guess you give people permission to like, I don't know, yeah, you give people permission to like leave faulty foundations or to knock them down and start again or something like that. Yeah. I think people find that really freeing. So that's definitely something people really appreciate about you. Because you give them, like, you know, it's not that they need your permission, but by you being the way that you are, it's like that assertive nature of like, and because you take care of yourself and you've got like the boundaries and everything happening, and you are successful as well, and they can see the work that you put in and the return that you get, and that like you're making decisions in a way that they respect. And I think they really like, you're not putting up with anything. And I think the people that really appreciate this are people that maybe tend to put up with things for too long instead of taking action. And it's that taking action that they really like as well. So, okay. Is there anything else here? I feel like we need to pull more cards. Like we need to build up a bit more here. I'm just having a quick look at these cards as I'm shuffling for another one, and I do feel like for some of you may actually, like there could be two groups within the group here. For some of you may actually get burnt out really quickly, and then you end up finding that you have to like put the foot down to sort of rein it in so that you can have enough energy to do the things you need to, which actually make you really successful, and they do make you stand out. And like the, you know, the star, where you just need to really like conserve your energy or something like that, and so you're choosing to walk away from things that like don't actually serve you anymore. And having that perspective has allowed you to free yourself even when it was heartbreaking, so that you could not only look after yourself and stop spraying yourself then, but like have enough for others, and then end any like faulty belief systems that were in place. So I definitely, yeah, now that I've said that and that's come out, I feel like there may be two groups here, or they may be interwoven to a degree. Yeah. Is there anything else I missed? Yeah, I'm not sure. Okay, so we want group 1. Why do people love you? I just feel like no matter what your nature, whether you're like quite a like soft or strong person externally, or like in how you come across in mannerisms and stuff, I do feel like you're ultimately just like a strong character. So yeah. I just got the card Father. So talent for creating and supporting life, positive guiding light within a tribal unit, or dictational control, abusive authority. Now, I feel like this is definitely what I have found like a healthy, like this is my very rough understanding of like the healthy father masculine energy is that they essentially, by being like a strong guiding force and supporting, doing those things that they're meant to. And like, you know, if you have like healthy control and healthy dictation within like, you know, a family unit or a community or something like that, so you like keep things working between other people and you keep things on track and you keep, I don't know how to really explain it, but basically I guess where I'm trying to come from here is that like a healthy father energy has the ability to like really uplift and give confidence, and so I feel like that's something that you guys also do here as well. It's like supportive in a strong way, and I feel like you probably don't have to say too many words for your words to take great effect. I feel like when you speak, people listen, and when, yeah, they take what you say quite seriously, I think. Yeah, okay. Let's see what else we've got. Okay. Oh, the sun. Okay, so maybe some of you could have like Leo in your chart. I think K2 might be associated with the sun, but I'm not confident in that. Is that the Empress? So I feel like you guys are like really happy, just, I don't know, being yourself, or just like, I don't know, there's like a good sense of like optimism here, but it's like really healthy. I feel like we've talked about you being like a bit of a guiding light for people as well. Like I feel like you give good direction and you're really nourishing in a lot of ways, and that sort of goes hand in hand with this father energy here, where it's like normally I would say that like the mother is like really nourishing, and look, we do have the Empress here as well, who is like the mother and is nourishing, but it's like across each of these aspects, it's like you really, I feel like you really take care of like your people or your family or your tribe or your friends or your network or something like that. Like I feel like people know that when they walk with you, that their needs are met and that they're looked after, or that like, I don't know, there's something about you. I do feel like that sense of like you being a liberator, but also taking control and just sorting things out and being supportive in like those masculine ways, and taking action, and you just seem to have like a really grounded sense of like knowing where you're going. You've got direction, you've got clarity. Like, I don't know, sure, you might be like a little bit quick to, you know, shoot from the hip at times, but I feel for the most part you have like really good decision making abilities, that really helps. And I do feel like your strength is really warm, it's really well received and it is really nourishing to people. So yeah. Okay, now that we've done that, I might take one more. I think people just, it's like, the feeling that I get is like when people feel really connected to the earth, and it's like they let the earth support them, they feel really strong standing on the earth, if that makes sense. And we're also getting like Gaia come out with creation here, so there's definitely like mother and father energy here. So like you really take care of people. I feel like you really complete a community and you take care of people, and yeah, you do nourish people, definitely. Like you really look after people. I think that's what it is. I definitely see that warm energy coming out and across like this whole spread. There's like a lovely, warm, nurturing energy to you that people just can't deny. Yeah. Okay. All right, well, that's everything that I have for you tonight, Group 1, on what people love about you. So thanks for joining us. I hope this was helpful in some way, or, you know, just improved your day. And let us know in the comments if that resonates. Otherwise, feel free to choose another group. We'll see you in another video. Okay, welcome Group 2. If you chose the seashell in the middle pile, then this is your reading on what people love about you. So the first thing that I wanted to note with this pile is that I feel like people know that you have probably lived through some heavier, you know, events in life or times in life, and they can see that you've come out the other end time after time, and that you do take accountability for your situation, and that you do show up in the face of adversity, and you take action where you need to, and you do the things you need to do to like help free yourself and, you know, make the absolute best of whatever situation is at hand at the time. You do everything in your power, and I think people really appreciate that about you, and I think they can see a strength there that they probably don't embody in themselves. And I think sometimes people wonder how you do it and they're not sure. I do think people tend to see you like maybe struggle or go back and forth at times in regards to trying to work out what's the best decision, but in the end they see you pull through and make really strong decisions. And I think they understand that the level of adversity or pressure or the gravity of the situation at the time really called for like as much preparation or amount, like a good, I don't know, it required thought to make a decent decision so that there was some hope for the outcome to get better. Now, moving on, I feel like people, I'm not really sure, like, so this is like what people love about you. So I feel like they love your depth of character, they love that you're like a survivor, they love that you overcome things, they love you take the action necessary or required, they love that you're strong, they love that you like, you have grit or something, like an endurance. And I feel like you guys are probably pretty good at like improvising, like you're good at thinking on your feet to take those, you know, the necessary action required. And I feel like you're an honest person. People love that you're honest. It's like you show up really as yourself 100% and nothing else. And not everyone can say the same for themselves. I feel like you guys are probably pretty intelligent as well. And I think you have a way of like, as much as maybe at times you get caught up in some of the, I don't know if it's like rumination or whatnot, but I feel like you have a powerful thought process that you maybe have a tendency to get caught up in at times. But just as much as that may be the case, you actually have really good clarity. Like, I think people see the situation that you're in and how you deal with it, and they actually wonder how you came out with making the decision that you did. Not because they don't understand it. It is the case they don't understand it, but it's also the case that they actually didn't see the brilliance behind the decision that you made until after you had made it. And I feel like they wouldn't have had the ability, if they were in your position, to make the choice that you did that led to such a good outcome. What is it I'm trying to say? Like, they wouldn't have, there's like a level of insight that you have that other people don't have. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to take another card. I feel like you guys are probably pretty deep and people like that about you. Equality, yeah. I wonder if you guys are like strong humanitarians, or it's not even being humanitarian, it's like having like a strong sense of sovereignty, and then because of that, it's like that humanitarian component where, you know, sovereignty is a big part of being human. And I think maybe for some of you, you like can have a tendency to hold on to like a dream or a hope, or maybe sometimes wear rose-colored glasses or romanticize things. And I think that might be like a way, I don't know if it's like a coping method or if it's just something that you do, or it's like maybe just like fantasizing or romanticizing things. I don't even think it's fantasizing, because I think you're pretty realistic people. I think that it might actually be like romanticizing things, and it's sort of an endearing form of hope that gets you through the hard situations that you've had to navigate. And I don't know, it's like the people that are like coming through for like what they love about you, that actually seems to be one of those things. I think it's really endearing, because I think it's like that reminder of like restoration in face of humanity. I feel like you're a really good person. I also feel like one of the things that people love about you is that from the things that you've had to face in life, there was that really big chance that you could have come out really hardened at the other end, and you haven't. Like, I definitely feel like you've gotten sharper, or I don't know, like you've wisened up to it. Maybe you've hardened a little bit, but like you're still, maybe you're just more guarded. I think that's what it is. It's like you're more guarded on the outside, but you're actually not hard on the inside. You still stayed, you know, like quite soft and everything. It's just that you're more cautious of who you let in. And I think that's one of those things that people appreciate about you, because I think they think the things you've been through, that you shouldn't be like you've maintained a sense of like, I don't know, like there's a humanness, there's a softness, there's like a vulnerability, there's like a compassionate or nice, like there's a benevolent side to you. I think that's what it is. And they just are like absolutely like blown away that you still hold that quality. I also feel like you guys have the tendency to, because you think on things, you actually get, what is it? It's like you find perception of things. You think about things like in ways that other people don't. The frame in which you see things through kind of blows people away. Yeah, that's what it is. And yeah, at the same time, I feel like you can be pretty cutthroat when you need to be. You can lay down the law, and you're like a really good, clear, effective communicator. Yeah. Okay, so we want to take another card and see if we can extend on this. I feel like you guys are like a no BS group. Like you don't have time for that, and people really appreciate. It's like a lot of like honest, genuine energy. Okay, we're going to take that. We've got a few here that have come out. So we have the Fool, King, Dilettante, and Avenger. So let's see, for fearlessly revealing emotion, helping people laugh at absurdity and hypocrisy. Yeah, I feel like maybe sometimes you guys have that tendency to maybe negate your own feelings or dismiss your own emotional expression at times, but for the most part, you're just really genuine, and I think that really helps people connect with you. The next part is that like I think people see you as a leader and a person who's able to like really take charge. Yep. What is this? Dilettante delights in the arts without having to be a professional, alerts you to the danger of becoming superficial in your pursuits, and pretension to much deeper knowledge than you actually possess. I think what this card is actually getting at is that you're so aware of like what matters and what doesn't, that you're very easily able to point those things out to people. And because of that, that's one of those like no BS things that people appreciate. They like, it's like almost like a sense of being down to earth or down the line or something like that. And the very last one is the desire to balance the scales of justice. So like righteousness on behalf of society or oneself. Yeah, I definitely feel like that lines up with that, like wanting to like avenge humanity in the sense of like protecting sovereignty very strongly. Yeah. I wonder if there was like things that you experienced when you were younger, like in your community or your family or directly, that were actually pretty full on, and that in itself, I don't know what it is. You could just be really compassionate people. You could just be like, I get the sense of you just being a person that like fights for the collective, or fights for humanity or something, you would be like a natural born leader. Like you would just naturally assume the position of being a leader because you would be the king that like leads into battle, that's like leading the war, but you're like at the front lines with your people or your men side by side. You're there with them, like in the trenches. You're not sitting back on a horse letting them go first. You're actually like a genuine leader. This is like, I totally admire this energy, so kudos to the real ones, hey. I think you guys are probably quite honorable. Like there's maybe like a sense of like nobility here or something like that, and I don't mean it in the sense of noble because of like position. I feel like it's like you just have like is it humility or something like that? I'm not sure. Anyway, good moral values, that's probably one as well. And is there anything else? I'm gonna take one more card. I actually get like a little bit emotional coming into contact with this energy because I just don't feel like there's a lot of it around. So I think a lot of people appreciate that in the one society that we live in, especially like if you want to go into the world of like, you know, there's like AI, so there's a lot of artificial and imitation like art and intelligence and communication online and everything like that. And a lot of people have agendas, and a lot of people try to present like a curated version of themselves, and a lot of people try to dress in a way that fits a mainstream narrative or presentation that is acceptable and to their societal standards and all of that, instead of just like dressing to be authentic as themselves. And I think that's something like worthwhile noting. It's like there's not a lot of people that are that genuine. So okay, we're gonna take all these. No, we're gonna keep going. I think you guys also, I feel like you have the people that you're close to, you have their backs. Like, if anyone was ever going to go to war, they'd want you by their side. Okay, here we go. So we have the littlest blessing and death moves among us. So, I don't know if it's the fact that you're able to, like, find happiness in all of the little things because of like, I don't know if it's because why, whether it's the life you've lived or you're just like naturally a person that doesn't need a lot or something. It's really like down to earth. And then death moves among us. I feel like you're also like keenly aware of like death on our shoulders, like being on the back of your mind or something like that, or like, you know, how fleeting life can be, maybe themes to that effect, something like that. I do want to say for some of you, maybe like, I don't know, I wonder for some of you if you see yourself as weathered, but like in reality you're actually really beautiful and you just don't see what other people see when they look at you. Yeah. Okay. I definitely think other people see you as a blessing, and they see you as a person that not only like it's like you see people in their fullness, and people really appreciate that as well. Okay, well, group 2, it's been real. I'm honored to have you show up in my readings. I hope that this was maybe helpful to you in a way that I get the sense that this group probably doesn't realize the things that people love about them, and that you needed to hear it for more than one reason. And yeah, I hope this helped illuminate some things about yourself, maybe help you see them within yourself. So thank you for joining us, and we will see you all in another reading. Okay. Welcome group 3 to tonight's reading, which is all about what people love about you. So your card is the 9 of Cups. I feel like people literally think of you as a wish fulfillment, so they're really grateful for you. There may be like some Gemini or Mercurial energy here coming through, but if that's the case, I feel like people just appreciate your communication skills, or like a level of intellect or something like that. I think it's communication, yeah. Like maybe friendliness or something, how you present to the world, I'm not sure. And there's also something here where, I don't know, you might find it hard to make decisions, but I feel like it's because you're quite genuine about it that you can get a bit hung up. And because that's the case, that in itself is something that people appreciate, the fact that you actually take it seriously. For some of these people, what they love about you is they feel the love. Like, I feel like you're like a warm, what is it, like a friendly, reciprocating person. No, it's not the word. It's like, I don't know, like the friendliness, the warmth is returned. I can't remember the word I'm trying to think of. It's like, it was on the tip of my tongue and I've lost it, but anyway. I feel like some of you could be like quite interesting and bring like a level of like fruitful conversation to the table, and people love that about you. For some of you, you could be like quite influential in the way that you go about things, and you could take a stance from like a higher state of like a higher learning, yeah, a wisdom or a higher learning. I feel like it's mostly higher learning here, and like a better way of doing things that people hadn't seen before. And I don't mean this in an institutionalized like religious way that the Hierophant can sometimes come across as. I just feel like you guys genuinely have found, for the most part, the best ways that work for you in your life, and you're really happy to share that knowledge with people, and people really appreciate that. Yeah. And I feel like people appreciate the fact that you like good quality things as well. And because you like good quality things, they know to expect that like when you recommend something to them that it is like of quality. So yeah, there's no like loss on time or money or anything like that. And that's, having a healthy respect for people's time and money is like probably one of the baseline things that we need, right? Like I feel like a lot of people are really not mindful of that. Yeah. Okay, so for some of you, you like lead the way, you take charge, you take action. I feel like you're quite decisive in the times where you need to be, or where you like, where there's passion. It's, you know, a bit of an imposing energy here within yourself, because on one hand, if there's like a lot of passion towards a subject, then you're like very decisive instantly, like, you know, where you stand, where your boundaries are, and where your morals stand and everything like that. And I feel like how I was talking about, sometimes you get caught up on things like in a mental aspect, not being sure what way to move. It's generally things that, like, I guess they're just, maybe it's like the smaller things and you're just still taking them quite seriously. But people just appreciate that you are taking them seriously. Yeah. Anyway, I feel like you have a lot of options and a lot of, there's still like a lot of potential within you, within this group. I feel like you also hold like a position of like power, and that's something that people appreciate, that I feel like you wield it in a way where you could be quite cruel and you're not. Okay. Some of you could be quite in touch with them. I don't know what it is, like, it's the moon and I'm getting Cancer vibes from it. So some of you could be quite in touch with your emotions. Some of you have that potential to get consumed by them, but I feel like what people love about you is that you have that like strong emotional, you know, what is it, like characteristic, because it's like that, what, like a realization, or it's like people can relate to you because they're like, oh, they're human too, and they do have these like really strong emotions that we all experience, and maybe you're a bit more open about them, like you don't try to hide them the way that other people do. Whereas for some of you, I feel like there might be two groups within this group here, and others of you maybe keep them in check for the most part, but people can tell there's an undercurrent and they actually really appreciate that you're able to keep it in check the way that you do, when they can tell how hard it is on you, because it can have a tendency to consume you. And I feel like maybe when you're in that energy is also at those times where you struggle making decisions, but they still feel like you managed to come out on top and do a good job. And at the end of the day, any decisions that you make, they really do stand the test of time. So people appreciate that. They love that as well. I feel like you're not afraid to start out anew. You're not afraid to, yeah, give new things a go and just see what happens. And I think that's like sometimes half the thing in life, right? If we're never, you know, humble enough or able to put ourselves in positions where we're like the beginner, we don't ever really learn or develop or grow or change. And I think that's something that people really love about you as well. There is like a level here of like strategy or something like that. Maybe, I'm not sure if you guys are good chess players, if you catch my drift, but I feel like there might be like a small group of people that you know that might have like an insight into some of the strategy that you do, and that I think because they are aware of it and they can see it, they kind of appreciate the intelligence that goes into it behind the scenes. Yeah. And the very last thing is, I think people feel like you're a rock. You're a rock and a foundational person in their lives, and that's really special to them, to have that level of support. So, okay, do we want to take another card? Okay, so we have irresistibility. So some of you could be like really attractive, and they like respect the way that you wield that, or they love the way that you like manage your irresistibility. That's a weird way to say it, I'm not sure. Okay, we're going to take one more card. Some of you, some of these people just may love like the way that you look, but like other people love the way that you manage yourself, given the irresistibility that you like wield, as if it was like a weapon, right? Okay, I think they just see you as like really powerful in like all arenas of life. They definitely see you as a wish fulfillment. So, oh, Avenger, cool. So I think they see you as a person who cares a lot about like justice, and that you actually will take a stand to set things right, and they also appreciate that as well. Okay, group 3, quick as ever, as always. This is everything that I have for you tonight on why people love you. And I don't know, just take one moment just to make sure there's nothing that I've missed. No, I think we've covered it all. We just seem to get like straight to the point with this group, so that's always really helpful. Okay, if you felt like this resonated for you, please let us know in the comments. If not, maybe try a different group. But yeah, I hope that this maybe like, you know, illuminated you to some of the things that people love about you that you may not have like recognized about yourself, or maybe I don't know, maybe it's just that like nice little like ego boost, or put some pep back in your step or something like that. I'm not sure. It's like confidence, I reckon, for this group. Yeah. Anyway, I feel like there's something I'm missing. I feel like there's something that I haven't said to you guys yet, and I'm just going blank. I feel this group seems to have really good clarity and good focus, and I feel like you have a pretty clear mind for the most of it. Yeah, that's what it is. You're like pretty clear and grounded. I feel like you have the ability to see a situation for what it is, and because you can see things for what they are, it makes every decision that you make so much more impactful in all the right ways that count. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I do feel like you're quite a grounded person, so people actually love that as well. Yeah, okay, cool. Alrighty. Oh, there's something else. Okay. I don't know why. It's weird. So I don't normally get this. But weird. I'm like feeling it out, and things are just taking a little bit longer to come out. So at this point, I'm not sure if it's like things that different people love about you that are coming through and they're just taking a while to come through, or if it's a case of like, you know, maybe as we uncover one thing, then it makes them think about another thing or something like that. But I do think people love this emotional depth behind you as well. Yeah. Do you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of when, like, let's pretend hypothetically that there was like a lot of water in your natal chart. That sometimes when you have so much water, it can sort of come off like fire. But I mean, you could have a combination of both, right? So, yeah. Maybe like Aries, Leo, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Saggy could show up, but I'm not really sure. But then there's also like Gemini and Taurus here as well. Yeah, I mostly feel like it's like fire signs, water signs, or like, but we had lots of stuff about being grounded. That's all right. It doesn't matter what zodiac signs have shown up and whether you have it in your chart or not. It's more about like the energy that's been embodied. And yeah, hopefully that makes sense and resonates and was helpful in some way. I hope that you enjoyed. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you all in another video. Bye.